I have read all the letters that was submitted, but not because it was the first letter, but I was very impressed, and it was by the decedent's mother. I have it right here. Being a parent myself, I can't imagine being in her and the other relatives and friends' shoes. Unfortunately, I've had several of these over the years. But why does this happen? Because it starts years ago. And you look at the probation report, and there's 6 pages of priors. No, they're not county court or Supreme Court cases, but way back in '96 it started in Erie County Family Court, and then Angola Village Court, and Evans Court, many town of Evans Court cases. Well, there was a Supreme Court case back in '05, convicted on a plea of attempted burglary. And then it was consolidated with another burglary case. Then we go back to Evans Court. Evans Court, pages after pages. Buffalo City Court. Back to Evans, Cheektowaga. So there's a pattern. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry, this isn't of a good person that made a bad mistake. This is a pattern that keeps on increasing, and we see this in court and also on the news. Why is it, generally speaking, the person at fault walks away and the innocent person just going to work, driving, minding their own business, gets killed? It doesn't seem fair, does it? When I had this case in chambers, when we discussed this, you know, I looked at the statute, and it says right here, manslaughter, C felony, an indeterminate sentence of 5 to 15 years. To me, even that maximum doesn't seem enough. Not that life in prison would bring anybody back, but how do we stop this? I don't have an answer. But I'll be the first to tell you, I was very reluctant on the commitment, which I did make, 3 to 9. But here, what I thought, it gives some closure. More importantly, there's a waiver of appeal. We could have a trial, and I'll be honest with you, my court schedule is so full of trials it would be next year. Do witnesses come and go? Does other things change? There's a possibility. You have a jury trial, 12 jurors. Seems on the face of it there should be a conviction, but nothing's guaranteed. And then there's the appeals process that can go on more than a year. Waiver of appeal, I think, is very important. Taking responsibility, showing remorse, but closure for the family. It'll never be closed, but at least this court business will be over for you. And for that reason, I went along with it. But in this letter, it says on page 2, Judge Boller, I hope you can include a strong recommendation that Jenny's killer does not get, you used the word probation. I think you mean parole. It's 3 to 9. And the judge generally always gets letters afterwards, and I, depending on the seriousness of the case, which this is very serious, will write a letter. But based on the record, which will go to the Department of Corrections, it will include every word that the mother spoke today. And I think that speaks volumes. The parole board changes based on appointments in Albany, and who knows what happens when the time comes up. But based on everything of the facts of this case and the pre-sentence report and the history of trouble that I just went through, I certainly hope at the first chance of parole it's denied, and I'll write that letter. That I will assure you. It is the judgment of this court that upon your conviction for the crime of manslaughter, recklessly causing the death that you be sentenced to an indeterminate term of imprisonment, which will have a maximum of 9 years. The court hereby imposes a minimum sentence of 3 years. I'm also fining you the maximum of $5,000, payable through prison funds. Any balance due is due to the Erie County Clerk's Office 12 months after your release. Your state license to drive is hereby revoked, which I think it is already, but for the record, it's revoked again. Surcharge is $300, crime victims assistance fee is $25, a $50 DNA data bank fee charge, all to be paid by prison funds. Any balance due is due to the Erie County Clerk's Office 6 months upon your release, and you have 30 days within which to file a notice of appeal.
Thank you very much.